So she's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud, when you pretend you want to do the one thing and you'll do the thing they're hiring you for, but all along you have secret plans.
You won't believe the absolute disaster involving the Hollywood golden couple Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Their perfect image is now crumbling following their antics at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special. They'd always been known as this charming, witty, and seemingly perfect couple.
Working with Blake too, he would come in and just leave all these guys like batting their eyelashes and fainting. Some guys gotta lock this down now.
Right?
So what happened? Let's just say that they showed up and cracked a joke that nobody thought was funny, and Hollywood just turned their backs on them. Just like that. This one mistake may have lost them their A-list status. Trust me, this is as juicy as it gets. It all began on February 15th, 2025, when SNL finally threw its long-anticipated 50th anniversary celebration. The night was full of comedy legends, surprise guest appearances, and all kinds of nostalgic throwbacks.
Let's get the two shot here on the left. Center person, please. And on your right, Mr. Reynolds, would you like right here for company?
No one even knew that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds would appear. It was the first public event the couple had attended since Blake's rather nasty legal battle against her It Ends With Us co-star and director, Justin Baldoni. At first, everybody was shocked that they had attended. Then it turned ugly when Ryan Reynolds made a joke that sent shockwaves through Hollywood.
Who else? Who else has a question?
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Hi.
Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Now, it might sound like a classic example of a Ryan Reynolds quip on the surface, but here's the deal. This came amid a major lawsuit involving his wife. Blake Lively has been putting forth serious charges against Justin Baldoni. She's accused him of harassing her sexually and committing misconduct while shooting It Ends With Us. In retaliation, Justin Baldoni has filed a case against Blake and Ryan, demanding a payment of $400 million, claiming that they've defamed him as an actor and sabotaged his career.
Actor-director Justin Baldoni is now suing his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, seeking more than $400 million in damages, accusing them of defamation and extortion.
Considering how grave the allegations are, was it the best time for jokes? Probably not. The minute the joke went on air, nobody was laughing. Fans took to social media, dragging the couple for poking fun at such a serious matter. The public was also asking if Blake was really emotionally distressed, as she said. After all, if somebody was struggling, would they be out at an event like that in Hollywood, all smiles and laughs in front of millions of viewers? And if your wife was sexually harassed, is that really something that you want to joke about?
But apparently we're hearing now that the celebrities around them, everyone was confused. One source put it that they were the talk of the entire evening and many people avoided them.
This sounds like a high school dance or a party.
Now, fans weren't the only ones unimpressed by this. Reports say that Hollywood insiders were watching the couple all night. Sources have claimed that most A-list actors have completely given the couple a wide berth, not wanting any drama to come their way. Others are said to have whispered about how the whole situation seemed tone-deaf. Now, this isn't where it ends, though. Blake is losing followers at an alarming rate. Over 864,000 users have unfollowed Blake since September of 2024, while Justin Baldoni has gained around 230,000 followers in the same time period, which tells a very clear story. It's become evident that people are beginning to look at her differently, and definitely not in a really good way.
Blake, Ryan, I think I speak on behalf of all Americans for saying thank you. Thank you for giving us such a juicy, delicious distraction from all of the horrors that are going on.
Now, what's the ultimate betrayal? Colleen Hoover, author of It Ends With Us, has cut all ties with Blake. Fans even noted that the author has scrubbed the last remains of Blake from her social media, indicating a possible siding with Baldoni in this courtroom drama. Ouch.
She's so over it. It has fully ended. No more writing, no more books. Yes, It Ends With Us is one of many, and they are bestsellers. She must have enough money to retire and not want to deal with any more drama. It's gotten very toxic.
So, with everything going on, why did Blake and Ryan even show up to SNL? Now, many think it was a last-ditch PR effort to portray them as normal and unaffected by the lawsuit. Maybe they thought that SNL might work in their favor, somehow craft a nice image for them and perhaps steal the attention away from the legal situation. Well, unfortunately for them, the whole thing backfired, taking away any power Blake's legal case could possibly muster against Baldoni.
Nice to see SNL doing damage control for them. Because that's exactly what that was. That little segment was orchestrated and I'm sure happened because of a lot of favors.
Consider this. The assertion in Blake's lawsuit against Baldoni is that she experienced grave emotional distress due to him. She states that she was so overwhelmed and traumatized that she could hardly function. Not quite the contrary, with clear evidence in hand. Baldoni's lawyer proves that she was out at a major event laughing, joking, and genuinely pretending that nothing was wrong.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on evidence. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, admissions, documents, which prove exactly what she did.
This was a gift to Baldoni's lawyers. They can use this against Blake to say that she wasn't taking her own claims seriously. If she really was having a hard time, wouldn't she have been home, lying low, working on her case, and not with her husband throwing jokes on national TV?
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
The more pressing detail is that Ryan Reynolds goes and makes everything seem even more staged. Reynolds is a person known to keep his public image delicate. It would seem that their appearance for SNL was a calculated publicity scheme as opposed to any sort of date night quickie.
Looking at the SNL situation, it was my professional opinion that what we were watching was something that was concocted entirely by Ryan Reynolds because I just see his entire personality type. Now that I realize he's a narcissist, narcissists always believe they can act their way out of everything, right?
The trouble is that this scandal may not turn out as Blake and Ryan hoped. A couple years back, Hollywood's ancient rules might have shielded the couple. Now, though, times have changed, and people are much more assertive when it comes to questioning the narratives fed to them by the stars. Content creators, podcasters, and independent journalists have explored Blake's past, with little to no flattering results. Old interviews have surfaced in which Blake admits that she likes to take full creative control on movie sets, even going against directors' wishes. Now, this isn't a particularly good look when Baldoni is accusing her of trying to sabotage his career.
But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that.
Meanwhile, Baldoni's been playing his cards perfectly. While Blake and Ryan were out partying at SNL, Baldoni was reportedly in Hawaii with his family, keeping a low profile. His legal team is painting him as a quiet, humble guy who just wants peace, while Blake and Ryan are coming across as calculated and desperate for attention. And honestly, people are buying it.
This was all strategic. And I don't think it worked. Do you? Well, the accused extortionist and her Deadpool actor husband were in New York for that very ritzy event, flashy. And meanwhile, Justin Baldoni was catching some waves in Hawaii, surfing, showing off his buff bod, and being one with nature. And I am just like, getting filled with anxiety about how much work I'm going to have to do this week when we get her amended complaint.
Blake and Ryan must be incredibly careful now because things are quickly turning against them in the court of public opinion. If not handled correctly, they could risk destroying their reputations. But the big question now is whether these two will end up apologizing for what happened at SNL. As of the moment, they're mum about the whole backlash, which has made more people wonder what's really going on with this. Not to mention the courtroom battle is just around the corner. Blake and Ryan will face Justin Baldoni in court on March 3rd, 2026. If they lack any strong evidence, things could very well turn out to be incredibly messy for them.
A serial fraudster. That's called fraud. When you pretend you want to do the one thing and you'll do the thing they're hiring you for, but all along you have secret plans to do something very, very different that's above your pay grade. And she finally bumped into someone who was weak enough and not famous enough to stop her, right? This Justin Baldoni, most people had never even heard of him. He'd been in like one series. He certainly wasn't at Ryan Reynolds level fame, never mind Blake Lively. And she bullied him.
For now, they should probably keep their heads down because Hollywood is watching. This is just a reminder to the celebs. One moment you can be great in the eyes of the world, and the next, suddenly reviled. Blake and Ryan might have thought they were invincible, but Hollywood's loyalty is never guaranteed.